Hello, everybody, and welcome to Uproot Reddit. Family gatherings are supposed to be a fun and enjoyable environment to look forward to, depending on the type of family members you invite. Yes, sometimes family night can bring both enjoyable times and times of frustration. Other times, family night can be nights of exacting revenge on family members who have pushed your buttons for the last time. Reddit user Les Wolfette has had enough of an aunt who just keeps breathing down their neck. So, they decide that it's time to pull a fast one on dear old auntie. In today's post, entitled Aunt finds out I'm engaged, freaks out when she realizes who to. Some people say the original post is gone, so I reposted it, meaning to make this for a while, and it happened about 7 years ago, and it still makes me laugh. Here are the cast of characters. Quote, EA is entitled aunt, M's sister, my cousin's very entitled mother, M is my mother, D is my dad, Amy, my sister, Katie, my then fiance, and then there's me. Here's the backstory. At the time this happened, I was just 32. I am an Army vet and was shot 7 months earlier and was still recovering. My girlfriend, Katie was also in the Army, came home from deployment and we decided to finally come out to our parents as lesbian, and we did. Our parents were very accepting, thankfully. M was from a very Christian family who were openly racist, homophobic, sexist, classist, and probably many other things I'm forgetting. M was the youngest child and was picked on a lot by her family. It only got worse once I and my older sister came into existence. Now I am Ginger. I was always roughhousing with the boys in primary school and nursery, and I have never worn a dress. They like girls to be delicate, pretty, stay-at-home moms at 20 and have kids. Think of their disgust and outrage when I spent 5 years in cadets, earned my black belt in Taekwondo, and joined the Army the week before my 18th birthday. So they already hated me, and since I didn't give a flip, still don't. Family dinners usually ended in stern looks from my parents to shut up. When this happened, Katie was still in the Army and had received new deployment orders not long before. She was due to leave in 2 weeks, and we were together as much as possible because we knew how much we would miss each other. Now for the story. M had not much choice, so had to host a family dinner at our family home. We were, and are, fairly well off and had a larger dining room than my grandparents, who were the only others who lived in Glasgow like us. I was living at home then since my parents didn't want me on my own whilst I was recovering, and Katie and I were looking for a place for ourselves around the time this went down. So Katie and I were talking in my room when they arrived. We had dinner. M and D were forced to listen to entitled aunt's political views and frankly screwed up opinions. Amy, Katie, our cousin, and I were talking ourselves at the other end of the table and ignoring them. Our cousin wasn't bigoted or homophobic or anything, and we trusted her, so Katie and I told her of our engagement. We were mainly talking about the Army. Entitled Aunt thought Katie was just a friend staying with us. Now I committed a mortal sin in front of her. I had a beer. Another thing, she believed girls shouldn't drink. And now Amy had a glass of wine. But Entitled Aunt said that wasn't bad because Amy was a proper lady. Anyone who's argued with my sister knows she isn't. But never mind. What are you doing? Having a beer? You can't have that. Why? You shouldn't be drinking. Turns to dad. Control your sinning daughter. She's 32. She can have a beer. No man will marry a girl like you. I was wearing my engagement ring and had a smug look on my face as I held it towards her. What was that, entitled aunt? She spluttered a little bit. Well, where is he then? Have your parents met him? Yes. You kissed him yet? Yes. Shocked Pikachu face. You imbecile, stay away from C. You'll corrupt her. C was 28, and I knew for a fact she had slept with her boyfriend. I lost my cool, and I probably would have hit her, but Katie jumped up to hold me back. D was angry too. Katie and I cooled off in my room for a bit before going back to the living room and talked with our cousin and Amy. She apologized for about 5 minutes straight. This time, both Katie and I were having a beer. She was sitting beside me on the sofa. Entitled Aunt comes back, and she sees me with my beer and snatched it from me. How could you still be drinking when I told you not to? I don't have to listen to you, Entitled Aunt. There's a reason why your name is Entitled Aunt. You're not the mom. Does your stupid fiance know about this? Do you have his permission? Yes. Call him then. Go on. Katie excused herself, and I saw her look. I knew what to do then. I take out my phone and flip through recent call logs to find Katie's number. As soon as she saw the number named Sweetheart, she snatched my phone and called the number. Katie whispered something to Amy, and she nearly burst out laughing. Katie picked up from across the room. Her phone was on silent, so we didn't hear it ring. The second it connected, my stupid entitled aunt started on a rant about how imbecilic I had been acting and how drunk I was. I was on my second beer and completely sober. Katie was laughing, and my entitled aunt ended with a question. Do you allow her to act so imbecilic and drink all the time? She'll corrupt my daughter. I don't have to let my fiance drink. She does what she wants. The realization suddenly dawned on her. Her mouth opened like a fish, gaping at us. Amy was in hysterics. Since I don't give a flip, I patted the space beside me on the sofa looking at Katie. Come on, honey. We've only got 2 weeks until you leave me. Katie grinned, walked over to lie beside me on the sofa as entitled aunt was still gaping. She yelled something about corrupting her daughter, threw my phone on the ground, and ran to my parents and yelled at them for having such a sinful daughter and supporting the work of Satan. I have other stories of hers and other entitled parents from my work if people want to hear. Sorry for the long read. And here's some edits from Les Wolfette. Quote, "Wow, thanks for all the upvotes and the awards. Thanks everyone, I didn't expect all this attention and awards. I'm trying to reply to people, but it's hard. Then again, thank you so much for everything. I hope you enjoyed reading about her. I wonder which is louder, an entitled aunt that shouts at you or a dog that constantly barks at nothing. Honestly, I'd go with the pleasant sound of a dog barking. At least dogs don't breathe down your neck constantly. Okay, maybe they do if you have bacon, but you get what I mean. Speaking of dogs, have you ever had an encounter with someone who deliberately demands you hand over your dogs to them? And for free, for that matter? No? Just Reddit user tacos and chili sauce? Apparently, one entitled mom thought that she deserved tacos and chili sauce's dogs because they did the dogs injustice. In today's post, entitled mom demands I give her my dogs because I committed the unforgivable sin of letting them be outdoors, even though it's in a dog's nature to go outside and enjoy the outdoors. You know, let's just see how this conversation went down. Quote, "This happened last autumn. I was doing some work around and left the dogs outside in the garden. The weather was pleasant, and they had water, and it had been about 20 minutes when I hear someone ringing the doorbell multiple times. I go outside to see entitled mom standing outside a little car in which sat her toddler. Man, if only that ringing doorbell meant that Amazon package was here. Your dogs were barking. Yeah, that's kind of what dogs do. They're clearly in distress. I must say it's very cruel of you to leave them out here." Why? The weather's good and I checked on them often. What's the issue here? Clearly you're neglecting them. Poor babies. If you can't take care of your dogs, give them to me. I'll at least care for them. Are you joking? No, it makes perfect sense for you to give me your dogs since you obviously are unfit to care for them. Well, by that logic, since you're standing here shrieking at me, leaving your kid unattended, you should probably give me the kid. how dare you? My baby's extremely well cared for. They want a dog for so long, and I just think it would be right for you. Look, unless you are a veterinarian with actual reasons, this conversation is over. Bye. You're such an insolent kid. You don't deserve any pets. I deserve pets more than you. My kid deserves pets. Door slams. Thank you so much for the awards. I appreciate each one so much. Well, tacos and chili sauce, that was a really good way of just saying, thanks, but no thanks. But wow, talk about a major burn there. But let's be real here. Though dogs are family, it's kind of like the entitled mom was asking to take someone's family member away. That's not gonna cut it. But maybe the entitled mom can have another entitled person in their family. Specifically an entitled aunt. I wonder what kind of conversation two entitled people would have. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. We'll be back for more family stories right here on Uproot Reddit. We'll see you all next time.